This is an introduction to Vajrayogini. And Vajrayogini, I see as the essence, or we see as the essence of the modern feminist movement, or we could say we're claiming equality. And this teaching is the highest tantra in Tibetan Buddhism, in our lineages of Vajrayana, specifically from the Nyingma and the Kadampa lineages. So to even begin to teach or to take empowerment or learn about Vajrayogini, you got to jump through a lot of hoops, and it probably takes lots of many years. Okay, so we are saying, hey, we need this now, because the patriarchal systems, specifically politics and religion, have often not honored the divine feminine. And if Vajrayogini is about anything, there's so much here. There's so much here. She is about protection, elevation, love of the divine feminine. And as I mentioned before, she's held by the divine masculine, Haruka, which means hero. So they're Haruka and Vajrayogini, again, they're not separate. The divine masculine and the divine feminine are not separate. He holds space for her. So the divine masculine is not outside of you. The divine masculine is that part of you that holds space for your Shakti, or in this case, as represented by Vajrayogini, to rise. So we can also think of her as Mother Earth. We're living in a time where we're cutting away the false narrative, the systems that do not serve life. They will not continue. And the chaos that is ensuing right now is a perfect example of tantric alchemy. So this is happening on a micro, so an individual, and a societal level. Like, we're literally cutting away that which does not serve us. So Haruka and Vajrayogini are representations of energy in the phenomenal world, which is the fusion of wisdom and compassion, which is the foundation of the Shambhala, or the Rainbow Warriors. So this is an introduction, and this is a suggestion that the divine feminine is not outside of you. She's within you. She lives in your spine. And Vajrayogini represents the process of awakening, the process of tantric alchemy. She is a Tantric Buddhist ḍākiṇī. Okay, so we're going to get into the ḍākiṇīs a little bit more later. She's known as the Buddha for degenerate times, which is our time. We live in a time where the feminine has not been regarded, respected, or protected, and has often been abused within religions and politics. And I don't want to candy coat that. So this is a modern tradition. We are acknowledging what's going on in the 3D, but we're focusing on, and this is what Vajrayogini is about. We're focusing on who we really are, which is pure bliss, pure love, pure essence, part of the divine, as you see, as you feel her. Okay, so her essence is passion. Okay, she's a deity for people with great passion. So this is a passion that's free of selfishness and illusion. She intensely works for the well-being of others and the destruction of ego clinging. She is seen as ideally suited for people with strong passions, providing a way to transform those passions into enlightened virtues. So she's a meditation deity, and her practice includes methods for preventing death, ordinary death. So these would be bardo teachings, intermediate state, and rebirth, by transforming them into paths towards enlightenment, and transforming sort of mundane daily activities into higher spiritual paths. Okay, so she's also associated with 6 Yogas of Naropa, This is enlightened activity. That is the feminine. She is the, so we could think of the masculine as the being. He's holding the space. He's holding the peace, Haruka. Haruka's holding the peace. And she is the being, the consciousness. And Vajrayogini represents the becoming, or the Shakti, which is where we're moving into. So she's often described as the ḍākiṇī, who is the essence of all Buddhas. So we could say she's the highest Buddha. Okay. And this is actually a, you know, sexy picture of Vajrayogini, which I'm going to save the other one for later. And hopefully this evokes some sort of feeling in you. Okay, so this is like, how is it feeling? How does she feel in you? Okay. So according to Tantric scholars, she's inarguably the supreme deity of the Tantric pantheon. No male Buddha, this includes her divine consort Haruka, approaches her in metaphysical or practical import. So the yoga tantras use goddess practice to create a path to liberation. I'm suggesting that this path is it. Vajrayogini path, this is it for Shakti temple. Okay. So the symbols and language that we use to describe Vajrayogini and the spiritual tool is a spiritual toolkit. So she's a spiritual toolkit that provides the method. She shows us in a very direct and straightforward approach that is effective in our time. This is easy peasy tantra, we could say. Okay, so we're going to zoom in on some of the symbology here. Okay, so her head is adorned with a crown of 5 human skulls, and she wears a necklace of 50 human skulls. So this represents ego death. This represents slicey dicey of the false self. We'll call it the false self, or the lower self. She's often seen as standing in the center of a blazing fire of wisdom. So she's like the embodiment of the wisdom goddesses. Her countenance shows both erotic. Okay, so she's very erotic. This is a very erotic picture. And she's fierce, okay? In the fullness of bliss. She's laughing, and she's often bearing her fangs. So each aspect of Vajrayogini's form and her mandala is designed to convey spiritual meaning. So her red body symbolizes the blazing of her inner fire of spiritual transformation, as well as our life force. So this is the blood of birth, or we could say menstrual blood. Her single face symbolizes that she has realized that all phenomenon are one in nature and emptiness. Okay, so she is the embodiment of non-dualism. Her arms symbolize her realization of the 2 truths. Her 3 eyes symbolize her ability to see everything in the past, present, and the future. She's looking upward. Okay, she's not fighting against the old ways. She's looking upward towards pure ḍākiṇī land, which is bliss, which is our true nature, demonstrating her attainment of inner and outer awareness, consciousness, enlightenment. And she leads her followers, or those that want to zoom in and synchronize with her frequency, to these same attainments. So she is for those who are interested in developing higher levels of consciousness. Okay. Now this representation will help you see in more detail. This is more the fierce Vajrayogini. Okay, so she's stepping on a female body and a masculine body. And these represents the false gods. Greed, lust, the asuric qualities of, or asuric characteristics of humanity. So she's literally composting them. Okay, we're just going to say that. It's easier to say that. Okay. She's slicing and dicing away the lower aspects of your nature Okay, this is happening whether you think it is or not, because we're moving to a different level of consciousness because we absolutely have to at this point, okay? This is go time, okay? So she's saying, hey, it's go time. Let's squish the old ways. That's not who you are. It's not who you are. Who you are is the pure light of bliss, which is where she's looking towards. And everything in between is the alchemy, okay? So we might see relationships with, certain people in our lives literally being cut away. You could say the source power is saying, hey, that's not good for you. I'm going to just slice it away from you. Okay. So you can do this willingly, or you can have Vajrayogini. And we could say, aspects of Kali, of course, aspects of Kali, slicing and dicing away the illusion. Okay. So the curved Drigik knife in her right hand shows her power to cut the continuum of delusions and obstacles of all living beings. She's drinking the blood from the skull cup, which represents ego death, and her left hand symbolizes her experience of supreme bliss and the offering of herself for the benefit of all beings. So this is for a path for people that aspire to be the embodiment of light and act on behalf of the benefit of all beings. It's really beautiful. So looking at this, Vajrayogini is super powerful. Just taking a look at her, because she's not acting out of anger. She's not focusing on what she doesn't want. She's in motion. She's the embodiment of wisdom. And she's active. She's active. Okay, so she is the ultimate enlightened Buddha. Okay, and I suggest that she is within us. She is within you. And Haruka is also within you. The fusion of wisdom and compassion will bring about a shift in consciousness, literally creating peace in the new world, a new way of being, which is compassion, wisdom, and most of all, love. That is the essence of Vajrayogini. And I will share more in the future. Now is our time. We're the ones we've been waiting for. So thank you for joining me. I will be sharing more Vajrayogini teachings in the future, but this is just like an introduction of like, who is she? And then the next step is like actually developing a relationship with Vajrayogini. Okay, so this is not a small teaching. This is, but it's also simple. Okay, so a lot of these, monks in meditation, they're literally visualizing that they are Vajrayogini. That's in the highest tantra. They're literally visualizing that they are her. Okay. Very powerful. It's very powerful. So literally, like, the whole point of Shaktism is you are the divine being. You are a divine being. Everything you've been taught about separation, superiority, lack of equality, lack in general is illusory. So she's cutting away the illusions so we can actually be who we're meant to be in this world, which is divine. Okay. Sending all my love, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Namaste.